time to be able to get a conservative point of view. And they need somebody that can analyze the news, that's watching the news, covering the news, and getting it from multiple sources to be able to put the pieces together. And like I say, they're not getting a digital form. They're actually getting a human being that loves this country, loves God, loves family, and somebody that can connect with you. And that's what people have said time and again, including yourself. You know, there's a connection there, and that's important. People need it. We need it.
Absolutely. If people at the end of their very long day, they only have an hour for news, and they're on news sources that are producing a very low-quality product, and often it is specifically designed to be misleading, it's very unfortunate. And if you're someone that has the opportunity to look at multiple news sources, that's very rare these days. People are working 2-3 jobs to make ends meet. They just don't have time to do the research, and that's why what you do is so important.
Thank you. GoFundMe.com and just type in Keith Allen under the search bar. Keith, Keithalan, just one L in Allen, ALAN. And then you can see our progress, and you can see what people are saying about the broadcast. Also, a little write-up about the show and what we believe in and our values. And, folks, that's just it. Values. A lot of people don't even know what their values are. And that's a shame. And these things should be talked about and articulated, and it shouldn't be ashamed of where you stand. I know so many people have said, we voted for Donald Trump, but we don't mention it anymore. And it's a shame. I think that the country that we live in now, it's polarized. We got so many different things going on, race issues, anti-Semitism, bigotry, and homophobia, and then Donald Trump, of course, getting accused of everything that you can imagine.
Yeah.
That has got to be real tough to be in that pressure cooker. And, they say, if you can't take the heat, get out of the kitchen. But I'll tell you, Trump has taken more heat than Reagan ever did. The worst that the media ever called him was a dunderhead.
Oh, my goodness.
And that's it. That's
it.
It's
unreal how obviously not everyone's going to like Donald Trump. And that's perfectly acceptable. I don't make my friends based on politics. So when people go out of their way to be not only purposely misleading, but we have right now an atmosphere of absolute hostility towards conservatives. Absolute hostility, where it's not safe for you to say, a baby is life.
Yeah,
it's not safe for you to say our country has borders. It's not safe for you to say that without expectation of being harassed or harmed. That needs to stop.
Well, and then it just comes down to the race issues, LGBTQ. Trump doesn't like gay people. He doesn't like Mexicans. He doesn't like Latinos. And it just goes on and on and on. And I'm thinking, gosh, Trump doesn't say that again. Trump doesn't like Latinos. First of all, his wife's a foreigner. But about 90%. About 90% of the people that are employed by Trump Organization at his hotels worldwide are Latino.
And anytime any of them have come forward to speak, it's been about how wonderful they're treated in their jobs, how they have fair pay, how they have health insurance, how they're treated well. And yet, do you see that on ABC? And
no,
BBC?
They're not going to say anything good about it. And I've said this before. They say, let's try to find some collusion with Donald Trump trying to build a tower in Moscow. And I've said this last broadcast, and I'll continue to say it. I could care less if before the election, Donald Trump organization may have been eyeing a possible location to build a building that he could make money off. Who cares? It wasn't the Kremlin that was buying the building. It was a businessman that wanted to build the building. And that's what business people do. They scout out locations all over the world to see where they can make money. It was a feasibility test, and it didn't go through. Obviously, there's no building there.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what his job was. That's what he did. He's an entrepreneur. He's a builder. So obviously he was going to look at that. And the last, I tell you what, they have some rose-colored glasses for themselves, but a microscope for us. That you better make sure every word you say is perfect. But the left can say anything they want to and get a pass. It's exhausting.
Yeah,
it's truly exhausting.
It is, and I think most people listening are just, very tired. I think there's some fatigue to it. It's like, gosh, can we just move on and do something? And interesting, a story by he's the judge on Fox News, Judge Andrew Napolitano. He's agreeing in a new opinion piece, writing for the Washington Times. It's Napolitano. He's Italian, you figure. It sounds like some kind of dish. I'm going to take the Napolitano. But he outlined Trump's challenging week, basically, which included public testimony by his former lawyer, Michael Cohen, which words dealt rather severe blows to Trump, as you know, a report claiming Trump's son-in-law and White House advisor Jared Kushner was denied a security clearance before Trump himself stepped in, and then Trump failed to attempt to reach a deal with North Korea. And the Cohen testimony was the hardest on Trump in a legal and political sense. Napolitano continues to write, and because of what Cohen alleged his former boss did before, during, and after 2016 presidential campaign, hidden in the Cohen testimony was an oblique reference to alleged bank and tax fraud that Cohen claimed he helped Mr. Trump commit. And that was contributed to Mr. Trump's wealth and has the present interest of federal prosecutors in Manhattan. So basically, and it permits federal prosecutors to reach back 10 years to find any two criminal acts which need to be proven beyond reasonable doubt, and prosecutors need only to demonstrate that they were more likely than not to have occurred. So the president has a serious and powerful, tumultuous week that's taking place, and people are really just saying, Trump, stay off the Twitter, no more, rallies, just do some presidential things, because this has been a rather tough week. And you have to admit, it's been a tough week because there's been a lot of salacious things that have been said.
I don't know. He's had a week in office that hasn't been tough. The way he's treated by the media, it's just, and the way
very
he's
unfair.
treated by people that voted him, it's really not fair. When you think about what he's done, he gave up a tremendous lifestyle, and he's donating any money he's earning as president. He donates it to different worthy causes. So he's making no money to do what he's doing. He's actually losing money, unlike other politicians who earn about $175,000 a year, and now they're wealthy. So, how did that happen?
Yeah. Well, if it was Obama, he would have got a pass completely.
Oh, absolutely.
The media would not have had a field day, but anything Trump, they're gonna try to make things stick and say, oh, see, Donald Trump wouldn't be that rich because he was ripping off people. He was doing this and he was doing that, and Trump University, like that was the big one. They were trying to get him for Trump University, where there was not everybody that was satisfied with Trump University course. Well, not everybody's satisfied with any education or any training. Gosh, Anthony Robbins or Tony Robbins, the big motivational speaker, there's people that come out of the seminars saying they want a refund because they felt like they didn't get anything out of the seminar. Even though 99.99% of the people that went enjoyed it, not everybody's going to enjoy. Not everybody's going to, the little thing that says results vary when it comes to weight loss and programs.
Oh, goodness.
Results do vary. Jeez, folks.
Mm-hmm.
Use your brain a little bit. Engage the brain. It's amazing what will come out. All right, so folks, go ahead.
Oh, indeed. Just when you learn to think for yourself, unfortunately, so many people are so indoctrinated into left hypocrisy, they just can't think for themselves. They only know what they've been taught.
Well, folks, we need to get out there more than ever and get back on radio and be on regular broadcast daily, and we need your help to do it. Our shoestring budget of $12,000. Megan's going to run everything from Michigan. I'm going to run my mouth from Tampa and be on the air. Megan's going to make sure all the books are good and the donations get to where they need to go. The bills are paid, and she's going to do that. And listen, she's getting paid peanuts just like myself, but we're doing this because we love this country. We love you, and we want to keep this heritage broadcast alive for the people that has meant so much to so many, including myself, where I met Chuck back in '86 for the first time in New York City. And
right.
so the broadcast has been around for many, many years, and it's really been pivotal in so many different election processes in the country to really educate people. And a lot of people have told us that we were very pivotal during the Trump election, where we've brought so much relevant, good information, unknown information, and relevancy. And we were the first to tell you, broke it before most networks did, that Trump was running and that he was going to win way before. And we knew it from day one, and we never buckled from it. I never doubted the Trump bump, that Trump would do it, because the message was the same pro-America message that For the People has brought for decades and decades and will continue to bring.
Exactly, pro-America. And as you pointed out in the conversation recently, that doesn't always mean it's going to be pro-conservative. You know, if you disagree with someone on the conservative side, you are honest about it.
Yeah.
It's not about what's good for the Conservative Party. It's about what's good for America.
That's it. You know, in the wall, I don't think it's crazy. You know, they're going to take out of the retirement fund, and the Pentagon just announced today they're going to take over $1 billion and give it to Trump to build the wall. I don't think he's totally wrong to want to secure America and our borders. You know, any way that we can protect and not have illegals come and cross the border and places they know they can get over. We need to be able to limit that. One less fatality on the road from drivers. That's a DUI. We hear about illegal immigrants with no driver's license, and they're drinking and they're killing people. And these gangs that are coming in, any way we can stop them, I think it's the better. It's a deterrent, and that's the bottom line. And you know what? We have to continue. If we don't protect America, who will? If we don't do it,
we will become a third world nation. If we do not protect our borders, we will become a third world nation.
And folks, every country has a border. Why is it such a surprise that America wants to protect its borders? Canada protects theirs. Hey, try to get into Mexico. This is a discussion. Try to get into Mexico and see what happens. Guess what? If you try to sneak into Mexico, guess what might happen to you? You actually might get shot and killed with no questions asked. And your parents, your folks, your friends, your spouse may not even know what happened to you.
Yeah. There's not a big news press conference.
And guess what? If you try to move to Mexico, there's no handouts. You actually have to have money in the bank and a certain amount of money in the bank to please the Mexican government before you could ever even move to Mexico. So there's no welfare system. But they come to America because they got their hand out, and they know they can get these subsidies that are in the billions of dollars. And a lot of these folks never plan to pay taxes, never plan to contribute to society. Now, a lot of times, their kids actually end up being productive, in the country. They go to school, but the parents don't, but the kids do. Do you say, well, there's nothing wrong with that because they come to America, they made a better life for their kids, and that's what immigrants do, and that's what's so much the story. Listen, if you've ever gone into a swearing-in ceremony and where people actually enter the country legally and they do it the right way, citizenship actually means something. Being an American means something. And it should mean something to everybody that's listening to this broadcast, that it's something sacred and something that worth very much protected.
I absolutely agree, and I miss your voice on the air, and I want to get you back there. Please, if you're listening and you enjoy the broadcast, please go to GoFundMe and look up Keith Allen, and just have a look. Share the show. Thank you,
Megan. Do you need to run?
Yes, sir. I've got other obligations waiting for me, but thank you so much for bringing me on today.
Megan Donaldson in Michigan, running things up there for us at For the People. Thank you so much, Megan. God bless you.
Thank you for the opportunity, sir.
Pleasure. We'll do it again soon. All right, folks. GoFundMe.com. Type in Keith Allen, KeithAllan. You have to do a space. Keith, space, Allen, ALAN. And let's get this this meter going up here. And let's try to put a dent in it today to see what we can do. Can we get it up to 500? Who's going to do that right now? We're 460 right now. So we can do a whole lot better. Our goal is 12,000. Mike in Kansas says, what's your goal? $12,000. And all the information is on there, and including some people that want to be anonymous. You can be anonymous if you give your gift. There's options. And then, you can put your name on there if you want. It's really It's up to you. But we appreciate all